So who are you and what do you do for Tactile?
I'm Michael Miller from Tactile Knife Co. I do all the community management, social media interaction for the knife side of things. So Tactile Knife Company was started by Tactile Turn. Because of that, we had kind of a leg up. We weren't financially having to be right out of the gate profitable. Thankfully, we had that option. And because of that, we were able to make the calls to do things right. Specifically, everything we do is made in-house to the furthest extent we can.
Hello, I'm Michael Miller from Tactile Knife Co. And I wanted to show you all the shop tour of Tactile Turn, Tactile Knife Co., kind of where we make everything from the ground up. There are very few parts that we do not make here, being the bearings, stop pins, washers, and springs for the pins. But everything else we're making here in-house. Let's go take a tour. This is pretty much where everything gets finished on the pin side of things. They're taking everything that we're making on the lathes over there, and which come in at this form, and they're turning them and finishing them so that we get the signature tactile texture and a seamless transition between the tip and the body. These machines handle every single pin that we're shipping out. All go through this process. Next we have the NLX. This machine, or this CNC lathe, is typically running either exotics or components. Currently it's running zirconium tips. This is just one of our many lathes that we have making parts for us. The CMX right here, this guy is either going to be running pin clips for the pin brand, backspacers for the Rockwall, or lock bars for the Rockwall. You can see here this is the new seasonal release clip that we're gonna have in the next seasonal hitting the beginning of April. Pallets of backspacers, pin components as well. In the machine right now, we've got a pallet of Rockwall Rockwall lock bars that just got machined. All right, next over here, we have our Citizen Swiss lathes. This is the main staple of Tactile Turn, Tactile Knife Co., is that we turn all of our in-house components. Internals are your side click, the screws on your pins, the screws on your knives, the pivots and hardware on your knives as well are all made on these 4 machines here. This one here currently isn't running, it typically runs bodies. This one right here is currently running side click internals. So you can see here, this is the internal of the side click, waiting for the spring mechanism and for finishing and going into assembly. And on the other side over there, we're running pin tips. So this is gonna be running non-stop, giving that signature tactile texture, machine finish with a D-face pivot so that this does not spin. Over here, we have our assembly. Let's go show you around it real quick in there. This is where all of our knives are assembled from start to finish. They're put together in this room. We've got a total of 5 people in assembly currently. So all your bayers, all your rock walls are all put together here. So here's a bayer that just got assembled, ready, sharpened, ready for quality control, and ready to be boxed up and shipped out the door. Currently, we're getting ready for the Texas Blade Show. We have a couple 3D printers here at the shop. We're always trying to make something to help us with one of our processes to improve our processes efficiency. If there's a tool that we can modify to make it better, we're going to try and do that. This is where we do that. Also, we'll 3D print any prototypes to kind of see in hand what the next product is going to feel like before we go into production. Next to last stop is finishing. So we've got sharpening and bead blasting all in here. Mike's in there currently, grinding away, getting some knives ready for Blade Show. Over here we also have another real pride and joy of Tactile Knife Co. This is a Seatman Grinder made in Germany. This powerhouse is what grinds our blades. You put a blade in the machine, press a button, and it grinds half the blade. You flip it over to the other side, press it again, and it's a finished knife. This is really what makes our ability to produce knives here in Texas and all in-house even possible. Let's go take a look at a couple other areas of the shop. So here's our finishing department. So our finishing department does everything in-house. We have sandblasting that's over there by the sharpening. This is all of our tumbling media. Our tumbler that gets a lot of G-forces to be able to make it where we can tumble things for shorter periods of time and more efficiently. It's currently in the middle of a cycle right now, so I can't really show you what it's doing, but it's probably running some of these handles that we have over here. Here's a bucket full of handles for a bear that are just waiting to go through finishing. And then let's look at our paint department. So a really big popular release that we've been doing lately is the seasonal releases for Tactile Turn. They always come in a colorway, they're always pretty dynamic, and this is where we do all of that. Having an in-house coating department allows us to be able to do customize what we do. Whatever colorway we want to get done, whatever finishes we want to happen, from prototype to full production on a fast turnaround. We take a lot of pride in us working in-house, and this is just one other step that we can do to make it where we don't outsource or don't send it to another company. All right, let's go look at the pin assembly side of things. So it's getting a little late in the day, and quite a few people have left already, but this is where most of the pin assembly happens. Everyone has their own workstation working on what they need. These are copper slim bolt actions, and I see some titanium parts and some zirconium pins as well. So right here we have our customer service. Andrew and Paul do a great job taking care of all of our customers on the pin side of things, making sure emails are responded to, shipping gets done, and this is the offices. So we'll have to step out for a minute, but we have Matt, who's our machine and knife production manager, designer, engineer, dude that takes care of a lot of amazing stuff. He's the individual who designed the bear, the rock wall. He's helped a lot with the pin side of things. We've even got some special secret sauce to show you that's going to be coming out later. And then we also have Kevin, who's our production manager for the pin side, and he stays busy all the time getting ready to move to the next shop and also keeping production going on all of our current lines. So the two powerhouses as far as mills are concerned for Tactile Knife Co. are our two Doosan's. We're able to turn raw blank stock of material into finished handles. So this is raw blank stock, and this is what it's going to turn into shortly. So this is a two-stage operation where it's going to machine this side first, then it's going to be flipped around, screwed in, and it's going to machine this side, giving that signature tactile texture, ready for finishing, and then straight on to assembly. There's a couple other things at the new shop that I'd like to show you all here in a minute once we get over there. But that's pretty much wraps up the tour of this shop.
Our short-term goal is to streamline the production that we have currently, so which are the bear and the rock wall, make it where we can make them better, make them faster, make them more consistent, more efficiently. The next goal is to make hopefully more budget-friendly, a little bit larger than the rock wall knife model. So that's really what the next big turn in Tactile's book is going to be. My favorite Tactile product would have to be the thumb stud rock wall. Magnum cut 20 CV, doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna use it just the same. I've got one here in my back pocket. Flies out like a rocket, and it's just a really great utility knife, takes up minimal pocket space, does exactly what it needs to when it needs to, and is there whenever you need it.
We're here at the new shop. I wanted to take a closer look with y'all and show y'all what we have going on. So we're moving from 9,000 square feet into 18,000 square feet. So doing this, we have substantially more space to spread out. We're starting by adding some new machines. We've got 3 brand new Citizen lathes that we're going to get up and running here shortly. That's going to drastically increase our turning capability to help keep up with production. Next, over here, we've got some EDMs. So wire EDMs are really complex as far as how they run. They use a brass wire that is spooled up over here, and it goes in through the system and goes through here and through a nozzle and creates an arc similar to an arc on whatever materials you have in there. We typically stack about 12 or more layers of material, and we're able to hold an extreme tolerance because of how fine the wire is and because of how good the tolerances are on a wire EDM. This is where all of our blades are cut, our back spacers, our springs for our bears. Every knife blade that we do is all done here on the wire EDMs. So against this wall right here, first off, paint is going to be inside this small room over here whenever we transfer over to this shop. Corner area, this back row, is all going to be our finishing area, like sandblasting, sharpening, stuff like that is all going to be happening right here. Next we have our Armada brake. This machine is extremely wonderful in making our pin clips and making our knife clips and doing them with great tolerances and speed. So right now we're getting set up to run some rock wall clips here in just a second. This is our robo drill. So robo drills are known for being extremely fast. We've retrofitted this robo drill to have the ability to run without coolant. So this is going to be specifically for all of our composite materials like G10, carbon fiber, and Ridgelite micarta. So those are all going to be run on here. That's what we ran our chef knife handles on. It's currently not set up to run at this moment, just because we haven't gotten everything transferred over here to this shop. So these are just a couple of machines that are in limbo. The next one is our surface grinder. We talked about this a little bit earlier, I think. This makes it where we're able to make flat materials even flatter and be able to have a thickness that we know is true. So we use this many times for backspacers, for the Bayer springs and stuff like that, to make sure that we have great tolerance in knowing exactly how thick something is, so whenever we're assembling something, it goes together flawlessly. Over here in the corner, we're gonna have our Seatman knife grinder. That's gonna make it where it's right next to the power circuit where we can easily process it. We've got a Barnes cooling unit that's gonna be set up for in a minute. That's gonna help process the contaminants in the coolant that we're running on it. And then that pretty much sums it up. We're gonna add the rest of our lathes are all going to be in a row, completing this lineup, and that's gonna wrap up this shop. Let's take a look over here real quick. This is our break room, just where everyone's gonna be hanging out during break. We've got our offices over here against the wall, for conference room to everyone else's office that's gonna be working here. And then over here we have our pin assembly room. So this is going to have a couple different areas. So the main pin assembly is just gonna be the main floor. And then we're going to have quality control is gonna have a smaller room, and also customer service for the pin side of things. That wraps up this shop tour. We really look forward to moving into this shop. We'll be moving in next Wednesday. We've got riggers already planned to move machines. Next week's gonna be a chaotic week, and hopefully we can show you all some of that behind the scenes.
My favorite thing would have to be the people. We are a small company. We care about all of our co-workers. It's really a close, small-knit group. We've got different departments, but we're all great people. There's not a single person that I work with that I wish was not here. And I'm honored to be part of the team, honored to be here, and look forward to what the future holds.